darling. Oh, when we get married, we'll have a big celebration and send invitations to all our friends and relations, and we'll have a ball, dancing and all when we get married. When the bells ring to tell the world I'm taking your hand, folks from all over will come to see the wedding we plan. We'll have a ball, dancing and all when we get married. And whoa, we'll have a ball.
So I met Hassani November of 2012. We were at a friend's party and I was actually supposed to be on a blind date, but the blind date did not show up. So at that point I was not interested in talking to anybody.
And I saw this young lady and I thought, wow, she looks good. So I went over to have conversation with her and she snubbed me until somehow we struck a chord when we started talking about finance and money. That is what she loves.
So Hassani came over and Hassani asked me for my number, but at that point I really wasn't interested in him. He didn't seem like the right fit for me. So I told him, okay, all right, I'll give you my number.
She gave me her BB pin because she said she could delete me when she got tired of me. So we had to communicate by BB for a couple of days. So I started a little conversation with her on BB till she come out with a rebuke. Are you trying to flirt with me? I was like, maybe. She's like, I'm not that type of a woman. Leave me alone. However, I persevered and I continued until she became more warm to me and we agreed to go for ice cream in the week as our first date.
Hassani messaged me on the Sunday night and asked if I wanted to go out for ice cream. So I'm a big lover of ice cream, so of course I'm going to say yes. And I didn't have anything better doing because at this point I really had no interest in dating anybody. So the Wednesday evening came and at the time I didn't know that he drove because I thought he was a Norman Manley student. So I called him and I said, you want me to come pick you up? He's like, no man, don't worry, I'll meet you there.
We're supposed to go to Devon House for ice cream. But Devon House had an event that night, so it was packed, it was crowded, we couldn't get through. So we ended up at Häagen-Dazs. And we went, we had a nice conversation. She was such a lady, she thought about the fact that I was in law school, so she didn't want to order anything on my tab.
I ordered a strawberry cheesecake with waffle cone and he ordered a bread pudding. I think he was watching his budget. So my first impression of him though was that he was a very cocky person. I was actually blown away by him. I was like, really, somebody actually stay like this? Up until that point I thought that was it. This was not going to go anywhere. Him chat enough. So when we were walking to the car, I realized that he was coming over to my side and I was thinking, but this young man couldn't actually believe somebody would go drive him car. But what he was actually doing was getting my door. No, nobody haven't done that to me in a very long time, and that is something that has stood out in my mind since then.
I dropped her home, walked her to her gate and shake her hand like a nice little gentleman.
And that was the end of our first date.
And we agreed to go on a second date.
Does he love me? I wanna know.
first kiss?
I carried her to her favorite restaurant, East Japanese for sushi. And at the end of the night, I carried her home, dropped her home. So when we got to her gate, as is customary, I was about to switch off the car to walk her to the gate and then to turn back and go into my vehicle and go home, wishing for that one lucky day.
By that time, he hasn't been inside my house, and that is how I like to keep it that way. I think this was like probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks since we've met each other, so I don't think he reached the stage to come into my house yet. So we were there, parked up, and I figured, okay, it's time for the first kiss, but I'm not going to make the first move, so let me make this environment conducive for him thinking that it is okay.
So while we were there in the car, before I came out, she's like, let's talk for a little bit and get to know each other some more. I was like, okay.
We're there talking, reminiscing on the night. Probably for about 20 minutes, and then I'm like, oh shucks, time running, you know, this guy needs to get up with it. So I was there, okay, Sonny, I'm going to give you another 20 minutes, we can continue talking. So we're there, we talk. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but at the end of the day, I wanted my first kiss.
So after we spoke for a while, she's like, I'm giving you 10 more minutes to talk. And I was like, all right. So we spoke again for another 10 minutes, and having spoken for 10 minutes, she's like, let's talk for another 10 minutes.
We were probably in the car for like 3 hours, and this brethren would not get the point. So after a while, I say, okay, I probably need a bit more motivation. So I recline my seat a bit and try cute up myself and be all pouty and stuff. Until I think he finally got it.
I was like, you know, said the girl, you beg a kiss. So I leaned over and pulled her in.
And that is how the first kiss happened. So, you know, I was excited, butterflies in the stomach, you feel all the love. Never love him yet though. You feel all the lightness coming out, lightheaded. You felt like, yes, this brother can kiss.
Yeah, kiss out the relationship. As of today, I knight you, Lady Kissifer.
The proposal. Now that is what everybody wants to talk about. I think at the point he proposed to me on the Monday. By the Wednesday, I have a script working with, because everybody was asking me, how did he do it? How did he do it? How did he do it? So this is how he did it.
Our proposal was unique. It was a process of many months. I really wanted to do the go down on my knee romantic thing, but Kerry has a habit of reading my mind. So that every time I was planning it, I'd realize that she figured out that something was up, and she would come to me and say, baby, you're going to propose to me? Why are you doing that? And then I'd have to delay for the element of surprise. It was just after my graduation from law school. So I graduated the Saturday night, and the Monday evening I went over to the jewelry store and I picked out the engagement ring that I liked.
I was on my way home from work. It was a late evening. So I said, Hassani calling me. And I'm like, why Hassani calling me? I'm supposed to be home. So I answered the phone and he was like, babes, you know you don't do nothing yet for my graduation. You don't want to take me out for dinner. So I was like, all right, fine, him kind of have a point. So I said, all right, where you want to go? He's like, take me out for some food, no man, make little steam blowing on my face.
And I said, I think I deserve to be carried out for Indian food for graduating from law school. And she says, all right, I'll meet you at home then and we go. So I hid the ring under the car rug, the car mat.
So we went to, what's the name of that? Saffron over by Marketplace. So we went there. We ordered the usual thing. I think he had some beef thing and I had some chicken thing.
I was trying to find the right moment at dinner, but it just never popped up.
After the dinner, I said to him, Sonny, you know we're having such a lovely evening. I don't feel like going home as yet. So we're there trying to figure out, okay, where is it that we can go just to have a little chill vibe.
And then she said, you know what I want, baby? I want us to sit in the car and have a conversation like that night we had our first kiss. And then I thought, perfect.
We got back to the apartment, we parked the car, and we reclined the seat and was there reminiscing on the relationship. Just to put everything in some context, the weekend before that we had decided that we're trying to have a make-up argument. So we said we're not talking to each other again. So we're there having fun and joke about that. So when we were there reclined back in the chair, he was like, babe, so we're making up now? We're boyfriend and girlfriend now? So I was like, why am I asking this? I thought we were just joking. So I never paid him no mind. And he was like, babes, you know I don't want you to be my girlfriend. And then he started pissing me off. I was like, why this brother come with him? I broke up with me now, really? Me just feed him.
And then her phone rang.
My bag was in the back seat. And I heard my phone ringing. So I turned around, picked up my phone.
And while she was busy getting the phone, I slipped the ring from under the car pocket and had it in my hand now, waiting to pounce the question on her. So by the time she turned around and she said, why you don't want to be my boyfriend again? And then I held the ring and said, I want to be your fiancé, if you will marry me.
And I was surprised. I was like, really, Sonny, this is it? This is how you propose it? This was me in my head. Of course I couldn't say that to Sonny. But then I was like, oh, yes, I'll marry you.
And then she did the, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I got to call Ellie and Simi and Lisa.
So after that, I was still kind of in a daze. I was looking at my finger. I was like, oh my gosh, him really proposed. Because I've been threatening him for some months now that him need to propose. And just in case you guys don't know, we've been planning this wedding since January of 2014.
I remember when I just met you, like a week after when I got sick. You remember that Sunday?
Yeah, I remember that Sunday.
And I told you that I got sick with the flu. And you went and bought orange juice and the vitamin C. And you bought dinner for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's with all of these vitamin C, orange juice and Panadol? And you're like, cause me no man not take care of themselves and get medication when I'm sick, so me get it for you.
Yeah, men don't like to go doctor.
And I was like, what a sweet little girl. I feel like she know me already.
Yeah, I like to take care of my men.
Men?
Yeah, I have brothers. Oh my gosh, Asani, I have a father and 2 brothers. Get over it. I like your personality. You always make me laugh. I think out of anybody in the world, I laugh the most when I'm around you. I like that you're a very good friend. I can see the way how you love the people around you. You love your co-workers. You love your family. You love your close friends. Especially your grandmothers.
When I decided to propose to you, it was because I was just so in love with you. I thought, there's no way I'm going to live long enough to see a better version of a woman made. Like, she was a modern, professional woman with all the old school, nurturing characteristics of a good country girl. Remind me of my 2 grandmothers. Why you accept?
The reason I accepted Hassan is that he reminded me a lot of my father. He's hardworking, he's a good man, he's kind, he's gentle. I think he has my best interest at heart. He takes very, very good care of me, and being away from home, he feels like home. So that is why I decided to marry him. I can see my kids, especially my sons, being a lot like him, and if they are anything like him, I'll be very proud.
When I found you, I found somebody who cares. When I found you, found my most intimate prayer. When I found you, I found what every heart dreams of.
Oh,
When
baby,
I found
I think I want to marry you.
I found
Sonny.
love.
sing your song? I do.
I do, do, do.